It's a parent's worst, most heartbreaking nightmare, and it's happening at an alarming rate.
The Ocean Springs School District is mourning the loss of one of its students today.
The school district says one of its students, 8th grader Aubrey Wyatt, has died.
Bullying now under a microscope after the death of a 13-year-old middle school student.
It's just sombering and just heartbreaking.
The family is still asking why after losing a loved one to suicide.
Suicide is the third leading cause of death for Mississippians ages 10 to 24.
Yeah, I feel like East Central, our community around Hurley and stuff, we really, that did affect us. So I feel like we are taking more of a change to help those who aren't doing okay. And I feel like we think back to that and we want to help anyone and everyone.
I feel as though people generally just want to have something to blame, whether it be bullying, whether it be a divorce, whether it be the loss of a job, because with suicide, it is so complex. It is very nuanced. I dealt with thoughts of suicide for several months leading up to my own suicide attempt. I had a supportive family. I was a varsity cheerleader. I had a lot of friends. From an outsider's perspective, they would say that it is the all-American dream.
As you can see, my attempt left me with some permanent scars.
I've been able to use Hope Squad as the call to action to try and help others. The more we educate and become familiar with how to help people, how to navigate struggles, how to normalize discussions about mental and emotional hardships, the better off we'll be as a society. And I really think Hope Squad is crucial in starting that change, to be able to really make a difference that lasts.
I first heard about Hope Squad from Emma Benoit, and as she was describing Hope Squad and how it worked as a student-led initiative that shifts the culture to one of kindness and inclusivity inside of school, I realized that was something that was tangible as a way to approach this mental health crisis.
So how does Hope Squad work? We, in its most basic sense, run a nomination process within a school.
Name 3 of your classmates who you find trustworthy,
Friendly,
understanding,
inclusive,
kind,
peers that other kids already go to.
and the students who are named the most often bubble to the top to create the Hope Squad.
I think that it's amazing that my peers decided to trust me. When I learned about Hope Squad, I was like, this is amazing.
They just know I'm here for them. Like, they can get hope from me.
It's a sense of being trusted by others and knowing that others can be comfortable with me.
It's like, wow, I feel accomplished.
Oh, I can go talk to someone who's not an adult because maybe they can feel like, oh, they're not gonna get it.
It's, me and you just talking one-on-one. It's not like something professional. There's nothing like looming over your head like, oh, you could get in trouble for this. It's literally just 2 students talking together, being friends.
Whenever we figured out that we got voted in, I felt very honored because I knew that it was gonna help our school.
I was really excited to be nominated because I felt like it's just really important. I don't want to see anybody struggle because of that, especially to the point where it gets unbearable for them.
The squad is made up of kids who are resilient and want to see their peers do well.
I feel like there wasn't really any certain clique. Like, we kind of all came from different backgrounds.
The advisors thinking it was going to be a popularity contest, and it was just going to be, oh, they're most popular, they're going to be in Hope Squad.
And I was scared that we were not going to be able to help anyone.
I look around, I saw people I knew that they were truthful and they would care about people though.
When I was like, wow, these people are actually going to be able to help and make a difference in our school.
Whenever I first heard about it, like I thought of, you may have heard Aubrey White that killed herself. And I was like, well, we kind of need this because like that, we can't let that happen to anyone else. No one wants like their friends or someone to die.
I feel like all of us as Hope Squad members do think back to those people who took that choice because it did affect our community. Sorry.
You know, we have to do something, and we can't just keep kicking the can down the road and saying we're going to. This has to stop. And 2 in 11 months from the same community was jarring. So as we continue to lose these students right in our own backyard, it drove us to be more focused and more determined to find something that might help intervene in this pattern.
No one just gets to that point. Like, they have to have like something happening. I've definitely had tough conversations.
I'm Generation X. My parents, of course, were baby boomers. What we consider bullying from our childhoods was more physical.
Back in like my parents, when they were in school, a lot of what was said was, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Bullying is still that, but now instead of just being more physical,
it can go from like slight gestures or just a look, all the way from like posting something really mean about someone.
It's more emotional.
Sometimes it's also on social media.
And it's more constant.
But it's easier to bully and it's easier to be bullied now than it was 30-something years ago.
And then they go to their phones after school and they take that phone into their bedroom. They are possibly taking the bully into their own bedroom.
In person, people, they say things because they just don't really care. It's a lot easier to say something mean or rude when the person is not looking you in the eyes.
And they don't really realize that those words impact somebody.
People will joke around and they say something rude and they'll be like, go kill yourself. Well, they don't realize that goes in with the words do mean more than you think they do.
Hope Squad members have sometimes had experiences where their peers have made them feel bad about themselves, or they've witnessed peers making other peers feel bad about themselves, and they've spoken up.
I was bullied before, and I feel like that's kind of what made me want to like stand up for other people, because I don't want anyone to feel what I felt whenever I was bullied.
I feel like a big part is social media. Everyone's looking at other people's lives. You're comparing each other. You're comparing, oh, I don't have that, or I'm not in that, and it's very hard.
As you probably could guess based on the era that we all live in, social media did play a huge role in my lack of sense of self.
When you are told just constantly you have to be great, you have to be this, you have to be perfect, you start to believe it. And then when you teeter-totter on, I'm not absolutely perfect, you feel terrible.
The Centers for Disease Control did a study recently in the last couple years that showed youth, especially girls, doing very badly statistically about their feelings of self-worth, their feelings of depression, anxiety, just worthiness that I'm not enough.
I know we've all kind of heard the saying, kindness is contagious, and it really is. Like you saying have a good day can spread to like across the school. So I feel like Hope Squad is kind of like helping and being kind to other people, because it'll spread to other people and like it'll spread across the school.
So my dad started the concept about 20 years ago. When he was a high school principal, he actually had to go to the body of a couple of students and with a police report, recognize them and notify the police and then the families. When he was a principal, he made a vow to himself that he didn't want to have this continue, in the community, at the schools.
The change we hope Hope Squad brings to our schools and to our communities is a more deliberate, intentional behavior pattern that is welcoming and inclusive and kind and understanding in the attention that we pay to each other. Our young people are struggling. The kids really need this. It is a myth that talking about suicide leads kids to think more about suicide. Openly talking about our feelings and our emotions does not harm a child.
The really amazing thing about Hope Squad is that it not only normalizes this kind of dialogue on a school's campus, but it actually educates and empowers young people to use their voice.
Research shows students are more likely to talk to their peer than they are to an adult. We're not asking students to be counselors. They're not meant to counsel or to diagnose their peers. They are meant to be a bridge and a connection.
Then we need to equip those students who are on the listening end of what to listen for, and most importantly, when to get an adult involved.
It is tough sometimes, but being able to help other people is really what makes me feel like this is what I'm meant to do.
Even though we have to see all the bad stuff, just being able to help people really makes a difference for us, and it makes me feel like a better person and brightens my own day.
They receive curriculum, content throughout the year from trained advisors, and they actually practice and engage in role plays. So these Hope Squad members are then taught to recognize warning signs and risk factors of suicide, but also to recognize, hey, it looks like Johnny looks a little bit different than he normally does. What's going on in his life today?
They cover it up with a smile, they act more happy, they act like everything is perfectly fine even though it's not.
Usually people aren't just going to be like, my life's terrible. Like, they're always going to be hiding it, and like, you have to be able to connect with them sometimes.
Whenever I put my Hope Squad shirt on, I'm always like, I'm ready for anyone like to come near me. I'm ready for you to talk to me if you want to talk about it, and if you don't, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to talk, I'm always here.
I've known Laura and the Singing River Health Foundation for several years, and working with Singing River Health System is something we do on a daily basis on a lot of different initiatives.
Looking at ways to address the mental health in our area is how all of it came to fruition to start having these mental health summits and see what we could do on the preventative and community outreach side of things. And whenever Emma came is when we first heard of Hope Squad. That was really one of those light bulb moments when we're all discussing after an Emma event, and she's like, yeah, well, Hope Squad, let's look at this. And the foundation became involved on looking at the funding side.
The funding to make a Hope Squad reality in any school is used for curriculum and training. Training the advisors and the students, and the curriculum includes activities that the Hope Squad can do in their schools.
Today is our Hopes and Dreams lunch, where we will basically have students inside their classrooms during lunchtime. They will write what their hopes and dreams are, and then we're going to place their hopes and dreams around there for people to see. And then Friday will be You Matter Day, where we'll wear red so that they know that they are seen and heard.
Hey, I'm Jack, and I'm in Hope Squad with St. Martin Middle School, and today is a day of hope. And I would ask them, would you like to participate?
And I'm going to be explaining why self-care, check-in, and coping statements are important.
And these are some things that you can do.
Calmer Middle School hosted a Hope Walk, a 5K walk or run, and East Central Hope Squad participated in that as well. I also participated in that. That's something they came up with on their own. The Ocean Springs Middle School Hope Squad came up with Cultivating Calmness one Saturday at the local library. A very popular Hope Squad activity is a hope chain or a hope tree,
where we made these links of like affirmations, and we all like linked them together, and we actually did it out here on the field, and it was like this giant like chain, this circle, and we literally did a wave with it.
Just spreading the positivity with the notes, with the little sticky notes that we left in the bathroom, or the posters on the wall, or just the candy that we passed out at lunch. It's all about spreading positivity.
It's something that says, I see you. I know today is midterm exam day, and you may feel crappy and unprepared, but I see you and I want you to do well.
So I love that if we're all, concerned with students, well, we need the students at the table. We need to hear from them, and we need for them to help lead what the answer is.
Right from the beginning, we felt so confident about the importance of Hope Squad, not just in Jackson County, but it could be all over the state. So we took it to the Capitol. It's not my first rodeo or the Chamber's first rodeo to be involved in an effort that we pilot in Jackson County, find where it went well, where it didn't go well, and then take it to the Capitol. We have very strong relationships with our delegation. We've done it before, and we knew we could do it again. And Senator England immediately became our champion and said, absolutely, we need this everywhere.
They've been doing this. They've had a lot of success in Jackson County with it, so we wanted to bring them in and show my colleagues how great of a program this is and why it's working for us and how the community came together to fund this program.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request the title of the resolution be read.
Senate Resolution Number 39, a resolution recognizing the 14 middle and high school Hope Squads in Jackson County, Mississippi.
I talked to parents that called me and called my fellow senators and representatives, and they said, what can we do? This is an issue. And the greatest thing happened. Our superintendents all got together. Our community, Singing River Health System Foundation, Ingalls Shipbuilding, Chevron, Navigator Credit Union, Mississippi Power, Merchants Marine Bank, just to name a few, said we want this program here to help our children and we'll pay for it. Let's just get it here.
And what my hope is with my colleagues hearing about how great this program is, that we can find funding that's available from the state, maybe some grants to let a program, whether it be Hope Squad or there are similar programs that deal with peer-to-peer counseling, and have those funds available for schools that want to jump in and do this to request a grant for that. And that's what my colleagues in the House are working on, is putting that together to try to find the funding for that.
And on the sidelines, I do want to mention Representative Kevin Felsher and Representative Sam Creekmore, because even though they're on the sidelines here this morning, they are fighting the battle on the other end of the hall to help us make Hope Squad and peer-to-peer mental health groups like this available across the state.
We had some of our children that took their lives in Jackson County. I think we had 3 or 4 over the course of just a couple of years. So it was becoming, that kind of really highlighted the situation to us, and we said, well, what can we do?
When Vicki Vo spoke from the Senate well to the senators that day and received a standing ovation, I knew we were on the right track.
Through my involvement with the Hope Squad, I've seen firsthand the positive impact that peer support can have on students' mental health. I ask that you join me in supporting the Hope Squad and other mental health initiatives so that we can create a brighter, healthier future for our youth. Thank you.
I think Vicki Vo's speech was excellent on the floor. I was very impressed with her. I talked with her before she went out there. I said, Vicki, are you nervous? She said, no, I'm not nervous. And so, and I guarantee you that this Hope Squad training that she's received has helped her with that. But she's such an impressive young lady, and to share what she's gone through personally, I think that's what makes these students so approachable to other students. So that is what a resolution does. We vote on it in the Senate. Lieutenant Governor signs it. Some of the senators will sign it. And it just says, hey, great job. We're noticing, and we wanted to give you recognition for it. So we were very proud to do that today.
And I held it myself. Like, knowing I held something that important made me feel like I'm doing something with my life. I'm helping other people. The world is crazy right now. And knowing that other teenagers are here for you and we know what you're going through, it's just perfect. It's just what we need in this generation.
These students, they're not just changing lives, they're actually saving lives.
And so we have had the resolution framed for you and Evan. That is so sweet.
Being a part of the first Hope Squad in Mississippi, it's great because I know that I'm going to be a part of history, knowing that things are going to get better.
Now I feel like people, especially when something's hard, they look at it in a more positive light and a more, I can do this kind of mindset, which I think is really nice.
I hope that every school starts Hope Squad because it helps schools and spread positivity and kindness.
I hope that every Mississippi superintendent, I hope that every American superintendent sees this documentary or hears some type of word about it, and I hope that we can spread the word and get a Hope Squad established in every single middle school and high school across this country.
A world full of Hope Squads is a world where people connect with each other in a meaningful way.
And the last one that I will leave you with is that silence will never keep you safe. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for listening. And that's it for me.
How are you bringing hope to everyone you meet today?
What does the word hope mean to you?
Are you being hopeful today?
How are you making a difference in your peers' lives today?
How can you inspire hope in the hallways?